So you want to make a cinematic trailer and you want some really good footage, music, and sound effects? So let's go ahead and check this one out and let me know in the comments below what you think.
No one saw it coming. They weren't ready. The devastation, it was catastrophic. Few survived. They were the unfortunate ones because what came next was the worst of it all.
That trailer was just absolutely epic, and I had so much fun just making it. I just made that out of spur of the moment because I was bored and just needed to do something with video. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out how to do that using Artlist. So I chose Artlist because their footage and things worked very well with the cinematic theme for me. So let's go ahead and check and see how I came up with the ideas to do it. First thing I did was come here to footage and selected that. Once the footage loads, you can see down here, the very first thing that popped up was that one with the Statue of Liberty, and it was just total destruction. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a cinematic trailer about the end of the world, and we're just going to create a story from whatever I can find in stock footage. So to get more inspiration and figure out what to do, I clicked on the video. Once I've clicked on the video, as you can see, it just starts flowing through, and we see this awesome thing, and I'm like, yes, this is definitely it. And I check over here for resolution. We can see they have HD, 4K ProRes, and 4K MP4. So you can choose which format you like best. And what's really awesome with the videos is they give you suggested sound effects. However, I do not necessarily use the sound effects that you find under these videos, but it's definitely a good starting point for you to match what's there. Then when you scroll down, you can see they have matching media that can go with that. So we see this bridge that's destroyed here. We can see this from Russia is destroyed. We have France. So what I did was just went ahead and downloaded all of them and figured I can cut them all apart and put them together in some way. However, we still need to tell a story, even though it's a trailer. So what I did was come up here and we can just go ahead and type something in and see. So let's check end of the world. So I just want to take a few seconds and thank Artlist because they want to give you 2 extra free months on top of an annual subscription. All you have to do is go ahead, check in the description, and find their link. As you can see, some amazing stuff has come up. Now, I downloaded a bunch of stuff that I didn't actually use, but sometimes that's what happens. So, you know, I mean, I had downloaded stuff like this explosion, but it just didn't fit into the video. So I just kept scrolling down, and then I found this, where we have these comments coming in, and I thought, you know what, this is perfect. So I go ahead, download that. And while scrolling, you know, I found other things like this Earth and the moon. So now let's just go ahead and click on this one and see what comes up. And let's go ahead and check the things down below. And as you can see, there's plenty more videos there. Another thing I had to do was come up with a reason as to why did the Earth get destroyed and why was there a problem beyond just the destruction of it. So I thought it's coming from space and aliens are from there. So I just type in aliens. As you can see, they have these awesome videos pop right up. We have these aliens with their weapons. I would just go ahead and click on that. As you can see, they have the HD, the 4K ProRes, and the 4K MP4, just like that. You also have sound effects, and there's so much more that can just go fitting with that. So, you know, I just went ahead and downloaded what I thought was good and move forward from there. And the next thing that we need to do is have the flow of the story. What is the speed going to be, and how are we really going to convey that feeling? Well, the next thing to do is find your music. And Artlist is absolutely amazing for music. I use their music in every single one of my videos, not just the trailers. But, of course, their cinematic stuff is just phenomenal. So let's go ahead and check that out. The way you can check the Artlist music is you can come here if you want to check your instrument that you want to have. I just left that alone. What I was looking for a trailer was checking the genre and making sure I went with cinematic. You can select as many as you want. However, I only need to focus on cinematic for this. Then we want the mood. And of course, it's not happy, exciting, and peaceful. We got to try to find something a little bit depressing, but powerful. We can go ahead and select epic, dramatic. I mean, there's more here we can do. but I went with dark. Now you can easily preview all of the music that you want to see before you download. So let's just check the very first one, the Warrior's Blade. Okay, so you can kind of hear what it's going to be like at some point there. However, what I like to do is hear the intro because that's actually where I'm going to probably start my video with. So to check that, you just go ahead and click in the very beginning. So you can see, do I like that? Do I not like that? We can see this one kind of rises up, so let's go ahead and check that. Seems a bit slow for me. So I just kept going through until I found what I really liked. And then I downloaded that music and started cutting from there. But once I found my music, I needed to tell the story. And in my vision, I heard a female voice. And well, I don't have a female voice, so I couldn't record that. But I don't have to rely on other people. I can just use the AI voiceover that Artlist has built in here. So let's go ahead and click here on voiceover. You can see it's new, and then we can check this. So as you see, they have so many different ways of doing a voice. Let's go ahead and check what the very first one is. This is a male, and it's called All-Rounder.
Every child deserves someone who believes in them. A single person's faith can light.
Okay, so now we heard what that sounds like, but I don't need a gentle male speaking. Let's look for a female. As you can see over here, we have female here. Let's click on that.
At our restaurant, the vibes roll and taste buds drool.
Now, she sounds pretty calm and confident, and that's not what we want for an end of the world. So I scrolled down until I could find something that I would like. So the first thing I did was I checked gloom.
Everything is slipping away.
I mean, it kind of sounded good, but I wanted to try more than one. I didn't want to just do one and go with that. So I checked gloom. I tried that, and then I came down here to obsession.
Hey guys. So last night was a total disaster.
So now I know the mood didn't sound exactly like that, but I liked her voice, so I went with this one. So now, once I brought this up here, I started typing in there. To make changes in the voice, you can go ahead and separate text in different ways. So let's go ahead and test some of that out. So for this, I just want to put, no one was ready. They didn't see it coming. Let's go ahead and see how that sounds. We click generate.
No one was ready. They didn't see it coming.
Okay, so that wasn't exactly the way I would want it. So I want to make a little bit of change because, there's going to be pauses and I want the way the speaking is to be a bit different. For example, let's go ahead and create some spaces here. And then we'll come up here. Let's hit 3 dots on there. Try to make it slow down a little bit. Let them know that that one's ending and then this one's going to be beginning. Just put a period there so they know what is happening. Also, what we can do is slow it down. She was speaking so fast. Just way too fast. So let's hit the speed and we'll come here to 0.9 and then I'm going to select emotion. I want her to be a little sad. Now let's hit generate and see how that sounds.
No one was ready. They didn't see it coming.
Still didn't quite fit. So let's go ahead and make another change. Let's hit that emotion and hit surprised.
No one was ready. They didn't see it coming.
All right, so now I really liked they didn't see it coming on that. Now let's check this one before.
No one was ready. They didn't see it coming.
All right, so I could probably go with the no one was ready on the first part there and then use the ending part of the other one. So we can easily cut them apart and put them together as needed. While we're still in Artlist, there's one more extremely important part about building a cinematic trailer. And this is really, really important. That is the sound effect. And Artlist has a great number of sound effects here, and they're quite easy to go ahead and find. Now, just like with the music, you can go ahead and select all of these different types of things that you might need. So if you want body falls, explosions, punches, whatever, body damage, there's just so much you can do here. So as you can see here, just like with the music and everything else, you can go ahead and select any of the things that you need. However, I didn't really need that. What I was looking for is, light flickering. So I needed electrical zap sounds, things like that. So I just put electric zap sounds. Once that popped up, I just previewed the sounds. And as you can see, when you play the sound effects, it starts right at the beginning and plays the whole sound effect, which is great. Then you can go ahead, and if you need to, just go ahead and check these. You can put, and say you want crowds, big spaces, whatever you need. If you need ambience, then there's the Foley, which is like, hits and, the sounds of stuff, people walking, whatever. You can get your genre. You have a bunch of stuff for that. So go ahead and just check all that, and then make sure you spend most of your time building your trailer in this area where you're getting your sound effects, your music, and your footage. That's what's really going to bring together your trailer to make it the best. You want the best quality stuff, then you can go ahead and put your edit style on top of that to showcase your work. So now let's go ahead, hop into DaVinci Resolve, and I can show you how I put it together. So for now, I've disabled all the sound effects, but I still have the music and the voiceover. This way we can get into certain points, and I can show you what it's like adding those sound effects and see how it is. Start with the intro. I'm going to play this section without any sound effects. However, you still have the music.
No one saw it coming. They weren't ready.
Okay, so now you hear it like that. So let's go ahead and add these sound effects back on there. Now you can listen to the difference.
No one saw it coming. They weren't ready.
So as you can see, adding that back in really intensifies and puts the ambience in there to make you feel as if you were there. So the next important spot on the sound effects I want to show you, you really have to dive deep into this part. Now let's go ahead and watch this without the sound effects.
They were the unfortunate one.
So as you can see, we have all those lights flickering on, but there's no sound there. So let's go ahead and re-engage them. I'm just going to select them. I'm going to press D, and that's going to bring them back up. And now let's listen to it when they flicker.
They were the unfortunate one.
Now that makes a huge difference in the feel of that section. So I want to show you how to cut that to make it most impactful. So let's go ahead and zoom in. So what I did here, I found multiple sound effects that would help me with the flick. Then I went ahead and zoomed in. So let's go zoom in really far here. So once I get in real far like this, now as you can see, this section is actually the beginning of that. So I just went ahead and cut this and copied it, and then I cut all these little pieces and copied them as well. So what I did was I went ahead and cut this like this. So I'm going to select here, I'm going to cut that, just Command C, then I Command Z. I don't like to take that apart. Then I just came over here, pressed Command V. I could bring it up here, and I set the sounds there, and I just drag this out, and then I went ahead and just cut these pieces like this. Okay, so you get the point of what's going on there. We already have that part here, and we need to put this here. So let's see how to do that. What I do is I hold the K key and press L and just go over until I find where does the light come on and flick on and off. And then you just go ahead and drag and drop your sound effect within that. So I'm going to bring it back out, and as you can see, we added all of those. Now, as we get further into there, we have all of these different things, especially with the aliens and things. So make sure you add in all kinds of sound effects to match with all of those to make this kind of trailer most impactful. So with this song, I got very lucky. As you can see right here at the end of the trailer, this song actually dips down. So I was able to just go ahead and cut that and allow it to help me when I put my titles. I wanted it to go black as the music faded down quickly, and then my titles come on. And I was very lucky to use the cinematic title pack that I received from EasyEdit.pro. And as you can see, their titles, they're just really awesome. They're very fitting for all the cinematic things. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. However, I'm going to show you how to do one for a different type of trailer, and it's going to be using Motion Array. So stay tuned for that. And if you'd like to see more videos with DaVinci Resolve, go ahead and check one of these here.